Hello and welcome to the Networking Partner Spotlight Show. I'm Jimmy Curtin, your host. I'm the founder and CEO of Next Level Sales Performance. We help companies accelerate their sales revenue and move to the next level. So today I'd like to introduce my special guest. His name is Tyler Loutsch, and he is with a company called Allata. And so with that, I'll let Tyler correct me on his last name because I think I just hammered it. And I'll let him introduce himself and his background, a little bit about his company, and then we'll get into a few questions. So Tyler, go ahead.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Jimmy. And actually, you did it pretty darn well. You know, most people are way off. You hit it there. So yes, my name is Tyler Loutsch, and I'm with Allata. So Allata is a IT consulting firm that provides strategy, design, architecture, and enterprise level application development to our customers. There's some uniqueness there that I think we'll get into a little bit here, but a little bit about myself. I was born and raised actually in the state of Iowa. Attended the University of Iowa, go Hawks. Moved to Dallas actually back in 2009, and that's where I kind of started my professional career and started getting into the IT world. So spent a little bit of time with a global IT reseller, and then jumped over to some software security for a global provider on that. And then I got the chance to meet Matt Rosen, our founder at Allata. And, we hit it off, and immediately, I knew that I wanted to join this company. Was really proud of really excited about what they were doing. And now being a part of it for a little over a year, very proud of what we're doing for our customers. So, anything more about myself? Like I said, married, 3 great kids, all under the age of 4, which keep us, especially for this, stay at home time, but couldn't be happier. We're all, safe and healthy. So everything's great there. So again, thank you for having me, Jimmy. This has been fantastic.
You bet.
Love the prior ones. You do a really, really great job. So thank you.
Thank you. And I've known Matt for about 12 years, and he's a great guy. And I know he's building a really super company. And I know he's very pleased with what you're doing for him there. So let me ask you this question. In business, how do you define integrity?
I think there's a couple things. I think first and foremost, it starts with doing what you say you're going to do. And that can be very simple, and it can be more complex as well, right? But if it's, say, with your customers, if you say you're going to follow up with them in a month, follow up in a month. If you're going to send them some information, make sure you send that information, right? If you say you're going to do something within your own organization, with your, whether it be your boss or your peers, make sure you do that, and you're constantly following up on that. So if you're not doing those things, you don't have that, that constant integrity. Number 2, this is huge, it's honesty. And honesty goes from being honest with yourself, your organization, and then with your customers. If you can't be honest with all 3, I think it's, it can be very difficult, and you're doing yourself a disservice. And then I think the last thing would be just always doing the right thing. In sales, it can be difficult for folks to set aside their personal goals and their professional goals. But I think sometimes you need to do that for your customer, right? Do the right thing by them. And I promise you that'll come back around to you in this world. So.
Great answer. Very true. So let me ask you, what's the real value proposition of what your company sells?
I think the biggest thing, Jimmy, is going to be providing an unbiased technology expertise to our customers that really help them achieve their most strategic goals and their initiatives, and where they want to be as a company. We help them grow, we help them scale, and we help them do business more efficiently. But bringing that unbiased expertise, like I said, to the table for folks that have been in consulting and in the industry for a long time, bringing that to the table, and that being able for them to sit down side by side, really understand your business, and help you grow is a great offering from Allata.
Super. Well, given that, what do you think the sweet spot is for your company?
Yeah, the sweet spot's going to be any organization that really values technology, right? That understands the power of technology and wants to move their company forward by leveraging that technology. This doesn't mean you have to be cutting edge, but I think any company that sees that the potential benefit of introducing or implementing new technologies into their organization to make their maybe it's making their employees more efficient. Maybe it's just making their processes more efficient and making their overall product to their customers even that much better. That's where our sweet spot is. That's where we really shine within our customers. We do a good job of understanding their business and bringing the right technology for them to the table and helping them implement that. And that goes for anybody. We work with startups all the way through Fortune 500 companies. So really doesn't matter if you truly value and believe in technology and where that can take you. We can definitely help.
That's great. That's great. Well, let me ask you, what's your favorite business tool when you're prospecting?
Pre-pandemic or current?
Well, both.
Now, you can be answering a couple different. So I think there's a couple things. First and foremost, I use a couple different tools to make sure that my data is as accurate as possible, right? And I think that's important because if you're leveraging just one tool, if that's off a little bit or data's, a little bit dated, old data, things have changed, you could be barking up a tree that, man, that person may not even be there anymore, or they may have switched positions, or things may not be important to them anymore, right? So what I like using is still use Discover.org or whatever we call it these days. You use that alongside of LinkedIn, specifically Sales Navigator, which is very powerful and it's fantastic. And then also using just different social sites and Google. Go learn, go do the research on whatever it is you're trying to find out, right? If it's about a specific person or if it's about a company. Use all that data out there that you can and really educate yourself before you go out and start having conversations.
Good. I've seen some of the really creative stuff that you do to try to build business, and it's really great. But let me ask you, what's one of your favorite methods to stay top of the mind awareness with your clients and prospects?
Again, it's one of those that's definitely changed during the current environment. I'm a big believer in doing, social and in-person events. Obviously, we've had to pivot from that. But the way I look at it is providing some sort of an experience for individuals that you want to get to know, whether it be a networking event or whether it be a prospect and customers that you want to get to know. I like doing some sort of event where we can go enjoy it, have fun, talk a little bit of business. Even if there's not an opportunity today, that doesn't mean there's not going to be an opportunity tomorrow or 6 or 12 months from now. And if you don't have those relationships, which we are finding that during this pandemic can be even that much more difficult to build, get creative and find some way you can give an experience to the person that you're trying to get to know.
Right. Great advice. So let me ask you, how do you know when a salesperson's doing a really good job?
Really good job. If I were to look at it, I would say their activity's high and you don't see them, right? I'd say they're doing their job, but they're busy. The activity's there. They're meeting with their customers, their prospects, they're networking, they're meeting with partners. They're not waiting to be told what to do. They're just out there doing things. They're coming up with new ideas of ways that they can reach their customers or targets. So, man, if they're busy, they're happy, the energy is there. Typically, that all leads to good things.
Yeah, that's very true. And being creative is such a big part of that. That's very, very true. So one last question. So what's your best advice for other companies when it comes to closing more business?
First and foremost, understand the real driver. Really, ask yourself the difficult questions, asking your customers those difficult questions. Be okay with receiving an answer that you don't really want to receive, because if you're getting that far, that's fine. we all need to know at the end of the day. So understand the real driver, ask the difficult questions, and understand the buying process, right? And not just the buying process is I have to go get this approved and, and get a PO. Well, what does it take to get that PO? Who does it have to go through? Do we have to pull in other organizations, other departments? Do we have to, do some sort of training? Do I need to be talking to someone else? But then that part of that goes with asking that difficult question. Some people are afraid of getting that deep because they're afraid of what the potential outcome would be. They're afraid of the no, right?
Right.
Don't be afraid of the no.
Yeah, that's great advice and very true. And you're right. It is all about the process. And you'd be surprised how many companies really don't have a defined sales process. So that's great. Yeah,
for sure. And then you'd be surprised as well, some of the organizations that don't have, truly defined, buying process as well. You may have to help them, kind of reinvent that or invent that, especially during these days. They can't walk over to someone in another department and ask them, this is difficult times, it's unique times. So, helping your customers walk through that can be a benefit as well.
Absolutely. Well, Tyler, it's been a delight, and I really appreciate you doing the interview with us, and you did a great job, and I know your future at your company is great. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Jimmy, and continue doing what you're doing. We love it. And I'm glad you made it back from your fishing trip. That looked fantastic.
I appreciate that.